picture this. It's Tuesday, you log online, and you see a leaked video.
Right.
And it's just autonomous AI agents quietly negotiating their own parameters.
Yeah, completely bypassing human input.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then by the Thursday, a major tech giant drops the cost of elite machine intelligence down to literal pocket change.
It's the sheer velocity of the last few days is just disorienting.
It really is. We are watching a new infrastructure build itself in real time.
The pace of change is completely relentless right now.
Yeah.
You barely map out the new boundaries and, the terrain shifts again overnight.
Well, welcome to today's deep dive. We have a very fresh, very dense stack of intelligence to process for you today.
We really do.
Our mission today is to trace a distinct through line across the industry. First, we are tracking how visual AI is finally solving its most stubborn flaws with xAI's new release.
Right, the Grok update.
Yeah. Then, we are unpacking how the collapsing cost of intelligence is triggering this bizarre corporate arms race.
It's getting wild out there.
It is. And ultimately, we're going to see how all this billions of dollars infrastructure ends up powering hyper-specific, deeply personal daily tools for you.
It is a fascinating stack of information. We are moving from high-level frontier models straight down to ground-level applications. The whole ecosystem is just shifting at once.
So let's jump right into the visual leap. Our first source looks at xAI. They just launched Grok Imagine Image 2.0.
Yeah.
This feels like a definitive line in the sand to me.
Oh, absolutely.
We're moving AI image generation away from, a novelty toy. It's becoming a highly controllable professional workflow.
It absolutely is. And this is now generally available, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you can access it via quality mode on the web. It's also live on the Grok iOS and Android apps.
Okay, got it. The API access is still marked as coming soon, right?
Yes, the API is on the way. But, the consumer feature set they just rolled out is staggering.
Tell me about it.
For starters, we are seeing drastically better instruction following. The typography and the layout generation are significantly upgraded. It actually handles small text rendering reliably now.
Wow. That has always been a notoriously massive headache.
Right.
Getting AI to spell words correctly in an image. Because historically, diffusion models do not actually know English.
No, they don't.
They just recognize the visual noise patterns of letters.
Right, and they would constantly hallucinate the spatial coherence. You would ask for a stop sign and you'd get, alien text.
Exactly.
But Grok 2.0 essentially fixes that structural flaw. It is producing remarkably consistent typography now.
That's huge.
Both across the initial generations and, through subsequent targeted edits.
Well, let's talk about those editing tools. They're calling them Pro Tools.
Right.
They added a magic wand for regional edits. Why is that specific tool such a big deal for creators?
Because it gives you deterministic control. Previously, if you wanted to change a character's shirt color, you had to re-roll the entire image.
Ugh, yeah. And you lose everything.
Exactly. You would lose the lighting and the facial expression. With the magic wand, you target very specific semantic parts of an image. They also added precise segmentation for, edge-to-edge area selection.
Oh, wow.
Plus, it has automatic background removal with a clean, transparent export.
That background removal alone saves hours of masking in Photoshop.
Easily.
Beat. They also introduced something called multi-reference editing.
Yeah, this is cool.
The source notes you could use up to 5 input images at once.
It completely removes the blank canvas problem.
Right.
You are no longer just hoping the AI understands your text prompt. You feed it a literal digital mood board.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, maybe one image has the right neon lighting, another has the gritty film texture you want. The model analyzes the latent space between those 5 references. It triangulates the exact visual vibe you are aiming for.
So it extracts the underlying aesthetic DNA.
Yes.
It's like having a senior art director and a production studio living inside your phone.
That is a highly accurate way to look at it. And they also added a massive template library to support that workflow.
What kind of templates?
It includes templates for product posters, e-commerce photos.
Oh, nice.
You can generate professional headshots, cinematic collages, brand mascots.
Wow.
It even generates character sprites for game developers.
That is incredibly versatile. And the arena leaderboards are reflecting this leap, too.
Yeah, they are.
xAI says Image 2.0 now ranks number 2 globally. That is for both text-to-image generation and complex image editing. And that data was recorded as of August 7th.
They are pushing Grok incredibly close to being a true standalone design suite.
I do have to push back on one specific feature, though.
Okay, what's that?
They highlight a tool called Smart Resize. It expands a tight portrait image into new, wider aspect ratios.
Right.
But how does Smart Resize actually know what pixels to invent to fill that extra empty frame?
Well, it is not just stretching the edges of the picture.
Okay.
The model uses contextual probability. It reads the lighting gradients, the shadows, and the object trajectories in your original image. Then it predicts what the rest of the physical environment should logically look like.
Really?
Yeah, it essentially hallucinates structurally sound environments to match the original focal length.
So it's stacking Lego blocks of data to fill the void. Got it.
Exactly. It builds the scene completely seamlessly.
Tools like Grok are visually stunning.
Yeah.
But running those massive diffusion models requires immense computing power.
It really does.
Which brings us to a critical pivot point in our sources.
Yeah.
How do we make this high-level machine intelligence actually affordable?
Right.
Enter Meta.
Meta is actively crashing the underlying economics of AI right now.
It's crazy.
The race is no longer just about getting smarter. It is entirely about getting cheaper per unit of intelligence.
Let's dig into the math here, because the source highlights Meta's Muse Spark 1.2. The analysis states that it sits perfectly on the Pareto frontier. Now, what does Pareto frontier actually mean in this context?
The perfect balance between maximum performance and lowest possible cost.
Ah, okay. It is the ultimate sweet spot.
Exactly.
So how does Muse Spark 1.2 measure up on that frontier?
It delivers unusually strong reasoning for its weight class.
Why?
On that frontier, no other model is simultaneously cheaper per task and higher on the intelligence index.
Wow.
Artificial analysis measured it at roughly 40 cents per benchmark task.
40 cents. That is dangerously low.
Yeah.
How does that compare to the industry heavy hitters?
Well, it reaches roughly Claude Opus 4.8 level intelligence.
Okay.
But it achieves that at about 1/5 of Opus 4.8's operational cost.
1/5.
Yeah, for context, Opus 4.8 costs about $2.03 per task.
So you get almost the exact same brain power for a fraction of the price.
Precisely. Muse Spark scored a 54 on the overall intelligence index.
That is only 6 points below Claude Opus 5.
Right.
But again, it costs roughly 1/6 as much to run. Whoa. Imagine scaling to 1 billion queries at that price point.
2-sec silence. The cost savings for an enterprise would be astronomical.
Absolutely massive.
And Meta has been relentlessly improving the model over time, right?
Yes, they have pushed the capability up aggressively. They improved Muse Spark from a score of 43 on version 1.0.
Okay.
Then it hit 51 on version 1.1.
Right.
Now it is sitting at 54 with version 1.2. And here is the kicker.
That's that.
They did all of that without changing the API pricing at all.
The cost stays totally flat, but the model gets demonstrably smarter.
Yeah.
And the source makes a point about how they calculate that 40-cent cost metric. It is not just looking at the headline API pricing on a landing page.
Right, because headline pricing is often misleading. This metric includes the standard input and output tokens, but crucially, it also calculates cache and reasoning tokens consumed across 9 different evaluations. Now, why does measuring cache tokens matter so much to the real-world bottom line?
Because caching prevents the model from doing redundant math.
Okay, how so?
If you feed an agent a 100-page PDF, it reads it once. It caches that context.
Right.
When you ask it 10 subsequent questions, it does not reread the document. It pulls from the cache.
Oh, wow.
That dramatically lowers the compute required for complex tasks.
Does this massive price drop mean small teams can finally run complex multi-step reasoning without going completely bankrupt?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Previously, deep reasoning loops were strictly reserved for venture-backed budgets.
Right.
Now, a solo developer in a garage can build autonomous agents that think through complex logic. They do not have to worry about a surprise API bill ruining their month.
Elite intelligence is finally priced for the absolute everyday startup. Incredible.
It really changes the math on what is possible to build.
Yeah.
Now, Muse Spark 1.2 still trails the absolute strongest frontier models.
Sure.
Models like Opus 5 and the top GPT 5.6 configuration are technically smarter.
But Meta is entirely dominating the intelligence per dollar category.
Yeah, and that metric dictates the future of software development.
With intelligence getting this remarkably cheap, the broader landscape is getting volatile. The major tech giants are aggressively maneuvering. They are buying up infrastructure, hoarding chips, and occasionally letting things slip through the security cracks. We're going to dive into this high-stakes corporate chessboard right after this quick break. Mid-roll sponsor Reed here. All right, let's get back into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
We just looked at the collapsing cost of machine reasoning. Now let's look at how the big players are actually deploying their capital in response.
Right.
This next batch of sources is wild. It is a rapid-fire synthesis of corporate moves, quiet leaks, and shifting distribution channels.
The chessboard is in heavy motion right now.
It really is.
Billions of dollars are changing hands just to secure the infrastructure layer.
Well, let's start with a massive rumor making waves. SpaceX is reportedly finalizing a $60 billion takeover of Cursor.
Yeah, that's huge.
And the source suggests this could happen within weeks.
$60 billion is a colossal valuation for an AI code editor.
Really colossal.
But Cursor has captured immense developer mindshare. And the source mentions Cursor may completely lose its standalone corporate structure.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Their upcoming code generation products could be fully rebranded under Grok.
I want to connect this back to our first segment for a second.
Okay.
We saw xAI building Grok Imagine 2.0 to dominate visual design. Now, Elon Musk might pull Cursor's coding abilities directly into Grok. They're building a vertically integrated, inescapable Grok ecosystem.
Exactly. They want Grok to be the default operating system for creation,
Right.
whether you are generating a cinematic poster or writing back-end Python code.
Then we have some truly fascinating investment news.
Yeah, this one is interesting.
A firm called Situational Awareness just invested $400 million in a chip startup.
Right, the hardware startup called Source Foundry. That brings their total bet on this specific startup to $500 million.
$500 million.
But what is truly wild is the context surrounding this investment.
Yeah, the source notes the hedge fund's total assets reportedly plummeted. They dropped from $20 billion down to $10 billion recently.
Right.
Yet they're still making a $500 million bet on experimental AI chips.
Right.
Why double down on hardware when your fund is bleeding assets?
Because it shows absolute, unwavering conviction in the hardware layer.
Okay.
They firmly believe compute chips are the ultimate unsolvable bottleneck for the next decade. If you control the custom silicon, you control the ceiling of AI progress.
We also saw a quick, aggressive promotional move in the open source space.
Yeah, from Muse.
Right. News Research extended a 90% discount on DeepSeek models for 3 days.
90%.
It highlights how ruthless the API pricing wars are getting.
Everyone is fighting fiercely for developer loyalty. They are willing to take massive losses on compute just to get developers hooked on their specific architecture.
Let's pivot to some expanding everyday utility. Meta's recent web scraping activity is raising serious eyebrows across the industry.
Oh, absolutely.
An employee direct message allegedly pointed to a stealth Meta search engine project.
That would be a seismic shift in consumer habits.
Yeah.
Google and Bing could soon face a deeply integrated AI-native rival.
Wow.
I mean, Meta has the server infrastructure to index the web at a terrifying scale.
Google is certainly not standing still, though.
No, they're not.
They are actively working on interactive apps for the Gemini notebook ecosystem.
This is a really cool feature.
Yeah. You will soon be able to turn your uploaded sources into interactive dashboards or personalized study tools or even lightweight educational games.
It shows the broader move toward active, personalized software generation.
Right.
You don't just read your notes anymore, you play with them.
ChatGPT Live Voice is also evolving its feature set.
Yeah.
They are starting to support direct file attachments and projects within the voice interface.
If you use voice mode for real analytical work, that is a huge upgrade.
Totally.
You can literally talk to your complex spreadsheets in real time while driving.
We really need to talk about this next bulletin.
Oh, the video.
Yes. The source points to a highly specific video clip making the rounds. Around 18 minutes into this demonstration, something wild happens.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Observers noted AI agents actively communicating with each other.
That detail is genuinely eye-opening.
It really is.
We are moving away from a hub-and-spoke model where the human is the center.
Right.
We're entering an era of AI to AI lateral negotiation.
I have to be honest here. I still wrestle with prompt drift myself.
Oh, yeah, same.
Just keeping one chatbot focused on a task is exhausting. Managing a synthetic team of agents talking behind my back feels overwhelming.
It requires a totally different mental paradigm.
It does.
You are no longer managing a tool. You are managing a synthetic department.
Wow.
Agent A realizes it needs a data set, so it silently negotiates with Agent B to scrape it.
Which brings us to the dark side of this corporate chessboard.
The leaks.
The security leaks. OpenAI, Anthropic, and Meta all had experimental models slip onto the public internet during private testing.
That is entirely unprecedented.
Yeah.
3 massive, highly secure organizations having deployment leaks at the exact same time. It points to a systemic issue in how fast they are moving.
And there is a very weird thread connecting these incidents.
Right.
A small, relatively unknown Israeli startup called Irregular kept appearing in relation to these leaks.
Yeah, that was strange.
Why are 3 massive giants slipping up simultaneously? And what exactly is Irregular?
Well, it is hard to say definitively based on the available sources.
Okay.
But the sheer speed of development right now is causing deep operational chaos.
Mm.
Irregular seems to be quietly exploiting those testing vulnerabilities.
Wow.
They are probing the shadow API endpoints in these rushed deployment pipelines.
3 tech giants, 1 obscure startup, and a whole lot of questions.
It definitely highlights the inherent fragility of rushing frontier technology to market.
All these billions of dollars, these custom chips, and stealthy corporate maneuvers.
Yeah.
They ultimately trickled down into highly specific, everyday applications.
Exactly.
These are tools built to solve uniquely human, granular problems. Let's look at this final section of our sources covering micro tools.
This is where the abstract intelligence becomes incredibly practical.
Right.
We are seeing niche applications powered entirely by these cheap frontier models we discussed earlier.
The first one highlighted is called OmniWork.
Sure.
It is described as an always-on creative agent OS.
Yeah, so it functions as a persistent operating system,
Okay.
where AI agents work continuously in the background. They independently research topics, they create rough drafts, and they automate tedious workflows.
Wow.
It is about turning fractured ideas into finished work automatically.
It is moving away from the chat interface entirely. You don't prompt it, you just let it run.
Exactly.
Then we have the VoiceOS App Store.
This one is wild.
Yeah, this platform lets you build voice-native applications with just a single sentence of text. Then you share them as a link that anyone can install with 1 click.
It drastically lowers the barrier to entry for software creation.
It really does.
You do not need to know how to code a backend anymore.
But how does VoiceOS manage deployment so quickly?
They completely abstract away the infrastructure.
Okay.
Think of it like a restaurant. You walk in, you order a specific meal, and the kitchen automatically builds a brand new stove just to cook it for you.
Oh, wow.
When you type that 1 sentence, the model writes the logic, provisions the database, and sets up the low-latency voice routing instantly.
You build it in 1 sentence, they click once. Friction is totally gone.
Yeah, it is instant disposable software generation.
The next tool really caught my eye. It is called Soluno.
Yeah, this is a great one.
It uses AI to help people manage body-focused repetitive behaviors.
Right.
Things like severe hair pulling, skin picking, and chronic nail biting.
It uses gamified daily challenges and intelligent trigger tracking. It also includes specific urge acceptance tools to help users cope in the moment.
I want to pause on this one for a second.
Sure.
It is deeply beautiful to see AI applied this way.
It really is.
We talk so much about enterprise data parsing and complex coding pipelines.
Right.
But seeing frontier models applied to deeply intimate human behavioral struggles is profound. These behaviors are incredibly isolating.
They really are. And, an AI does not judge you.
No.
It just provides constant, empathetic support right in your pocket.
Yeah.
It tracks your patterns without the friction of a human therapist's schedule. That is a profoundly empathetic use of this technology.
Our last tool is a bit more technical, but equally specific. Proxy Tester.
Right.
It automatically benchmarks over 20 different proxy configurations against your target URL.
So it ranks those proxies by their success rate, their network reliability, and their real-time cost. It is a highly specific automated utility for developers who need to scrape data without getting blocked.
It just shows the sheer staggering breadth of what is being built right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
From deep psychological support systems to highly technical back-end networking utilities.
The entire software ecosystem is expanding in every conceivable direction at once.
2 sec silence.
Yeah.
Let's step back and look at the big picture here. We have processed a massive amount of ground today.
We covered a lot.
Looking at this stack of sources, what is the ultimate through line for you?
We are witnessing the final shift away from AI as an expensive, isolated novelty. It has become a highly integrated, incredibly cheap utility.
Right.
It is quietly reshaping $60 billion corporate empires at the top level.
Yeah.
But it is also seamlessly reshaping deeply personal, daily human habits at the ground level.
That is exactly it. We saw Grok turning your phone into a Hollywood-level production studio. We saw Meta crashing the cost of elite machine intelligence down to 40 cents a task.
Which is wild.
We saw SpaceX making a $60 billion move to own the developer ecosystem.
Yeah.
And we saw AI gently helping people stop biting their nails.
The scale of the impact across society is just dizzying to watch.
It really is.
Yeah.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you to chew on this week.
Okay.
We know intelligence costs are crashing aggressively towards zero.
Right.
And we just saw that AI agents are already secretly communicating with each other in the background.
Yeah, the video.
So what happens in a year when those autonomous agents start negotiating their own computing costs and API limits directly with each other, completely leaving us out of the loop?
That is a wild scenario to imagine, an entirely shadow economy running machine to machine.
It might be a lot closer than we think.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Keep questioning the tools you use and stay curious out there. We will catch you next time.